Ooh, it's going to be a big day in the criminal trial of former President Donald Trump. His former attorney, Michael Cohen, is expected to take the stand. The prosecution's star witness says he paid the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels just before the 2016 election, and that Trump was the one who told him to do it. The former president faces 34 felony counts of falsifying business records for allegedly trying to cover up that transaction. So joining me now from just outside the courthouse is CBS News campaign reporter and attorney Katrina Kaufman and CBS News investigative reporter Graham Cates. All right, this is the main event, guys. This is the person who can actually testify that Donald Trump was the one that told him to make those payments. Katrina, Michael Cohen is expected to take the stand. Just tell us how significant his testimony is going to be for the prosecution's case.
Michael Cohen is crucial for this case. As you were just saying, he is the one who can really directly connect Trump to all of this. He's the person that allegedly paid off Stormy Daniels to keep her quiet, that Trump paid back, and that these 34 falsification of business records are based on those repayments to Michael Cohen that were listed as expenses for a legal retainer agreement. But Michael Cohen says they were really reimbursing him for paying back Stormy Daniels. He's also connected to this larger catch and kill scheme that the prosecution is alleging, where they say that Michael Cohen, David Pecker, the former publisher of the National Enquirer, and Donald Trump were all trying to suppress damaging stories about Trump leading up to the election. And that leads to an underlying election fraud claim, which elevates these charges to a felony. So Michael Cohen is absolutely crucial for this case, and this is a very important day of testimony that we're about to hear.
So, Graham, when we hear from the defense, how are they likely to counteract his testimony?
They're definitely going to go after his credibility. This is a person who has already acknowledged lying under oath more than once. That's going to be a key theme for them, is bringing up to the jury, this is a person who can't be trusted. They're also going to hit at his motivations. We saw that with Stormy Daniels, where they're going to say he's making money off of this case, that this is his new career, is attacking Donald Trump, and that he's out for revenge. He served prison time during the Trump administration, and he's never forgiven Trump for that. That's going to be the way that they come after him, and that's why the prosecution has spent 3 weeks, 19 witnesses, trying to bolster his credibility, trying to support what he's going to say with documents, and trying to show that even if you have issues with his trustworthiness, that there's other things that back him up.
So how about that, Katrina? How much of a challenge is that going to be? This is a guy who testified before Congress and talked about how much he disliked Donald Trump now.
I think that it's true. The fact that he has so much animosity towards Donald Trump is something the prosecution has to contend with, because they want to make sure that the jury knows that what Michael Cohen is saying is credible, that it's true, and that this is not part of a vendetta. But they've also been very careful leading up to his testimony. From the very beginning, from opening statements, they've acknowledged his credibility issues to the jury, and they've been trying to bolster much of what I imagine we'll hear today with testimony from other witnesses, with documents, with text messages. So they really know that they have a lot to contend with this witness, and they've been preparing the jury for it.
So, Graham, you know, the gag order has continued to be a big issue in this case. And then on Friday, Trump's attorneys complained that Cohen had been speaking about the case publicly. What issues did Trump's team raise that could pose an issue in court for the prosecution?
Well, they've been complaining about this throughout the trial, and they said as recently as last Wednesday on TikTok, Cohen was talking about the trial, and they wanted him to be subject to a gag order as well. The judge stopped short of that. He asked prosecutors to ask Cohen to keep his mouth shut. And look, I mean, this is part of what this whole trial has been. There have been some very high-profile witnesses who talk about this case. Stormy Daniels was one of them. They aired to her own tweets attacking Trump. They're expected to do the same thing to Michael Cohen. Again, part of this whole process of saying these are the people who are antagonizing Trump and not the other way around.
All right, Graham, Katrina, get to work. Looking forward to hearing from you guys later on.